Okay, I've never done one of these before because because most of my products I've unboxed many years ago. We're gonna try an unboxing today.
Is it unboxing day?
No, it's not after Unchristmas. Okay, I just got the DC Comics deck building game. Well, I guess it's just DC deck building game. DC deck builder for sure. Rivals. Green Lantern versus Sinestro. I do believe this is Rivals 2, although I don't know if...
Unboxing baby before Christmas.
Because of backwards. Okay, so the reason I wanted to do this, well, first so I can get some initial reactions, but, excuse me, is because all my other stuff, I never actually, like I said a moment ago, I unboxed them many years ago, because I've just owned them. I've just been kind of hanging on to them. And I also don't, for the most part, I don't hold them in their original boxes. So let's get rid of the outermost plastic wrap. I don't have a trash can nearby. Okay, so in Brightest Day, a standalone DC deck building game duel between the light of willpower and the domination of fear. Plays Green Lantern or Sinestro. And there's a trademark after each name. Introduces construct cards that power up oversized characters and more. Expands the confrontation rules found in the DC deck building game Rivals, Batman vs. the Joker. That's a long title. And Confrontations games. You know, like how the smaller game has the really long name, and then there's just Confrontations. You know, the one that's 2v2, it has like 8 different characters with 3 lives. So there are 98 game cards. I'm not sure if I have enough card saves, actually. 6 oversized character cards, a rulebook, multiverse randomizer, and divider. In Blackest Night. So it says compatible with all Kerberos Heroes deck building. Well, just not even Kerberos Engine : Heroes, just Kerberos, whatever. So this will be fun to throw in with Street Fighter. But looking nice. Okay, we got a new Green Lantern power ring right off the bat. That's cool. Wait a minute. Yeah. Right. No, it's Green Lantern TM power ring. In fact, let me grab the older one just to compare. Okay, I got the cards from DC2 Heroes Unite. Okay, here is the original Green Lantern power ring, which is a defense. Oh, hey, this one's a defense too. This is draw 2 cards, then put a card from your hand on top of your deck. I like that. That'll work. Okay, defense. You may discard this card from your hand to avoid an attack. If you do, put a construct from your discard pile into your hand, or draw a card. Oh, okay. So I did get a little bit ahead of. In this one they actually don't use the kick. They actually have a new stack that are just light constructs, generic ones. Okay, I gotta open this. Yeah, now they're doing the randomizers it's supposed to go with the multiverse box. Right, so all the products that came out before the multiverse box have a randomizer that comes in the multiverse box, which I don't have. And I'm still like 50-50 on whether or not I want to get it. Okay, let's look at some... Oops. Drop the punch. Punch! Here we have Green Lantern's punches. And Sinestro's punches. Wow, they okay, see, this is why I wanted to do the unboxing with you, because they look like they're rocking out. Or something. You don't have to get over here, but like, here, can you see it from here? Oh. Okay, well, it's fine. Their vulnerability. Oh, Green Lantern's vulnerabilities. And Sinestro's. Kind of a stark difference. Look at that. We got like, Green Lantern. He just got knocked down, and then Sinestro. No, he's getting totally tied up with. Is he fighting the Legion? I have no idea. Whatever. So there's that. Oh, and another thing. I noticed in the preview images for Confrontation, they put the symbol of the character in the types bar. Right. That's not actually a type, but it's supposed to indicate who goes there or whatever. So that's something. I've heard it suggest. Okay, we got. Oh, nice. The weakness is the picture of Hal with all the rings. So that's funny because that's in one of the crises. When you, well, I don't want to spoil Crisis, but basically it's one where one player becomes a supervillain. but like they're constantly fighting against. Okay, there's the randomizer card. I guess I should probably get a regular. One of the basic cards. Let's set that aside. I'm sorry, that is funny. Okay, but here we go. Hard Light Construct, and it's got. I don't know if it has no type or if it has the construct type. We'll find out in a moment. +2 power. Confrontation. You may return this card to its stack. If you do, draw a card and then discard a card. Okay. So kind of like 3D Gear or Hand Sign. This is a card that's less meant to be taken forever and more to be borrowed, but it is the substitute for Kick, as it is a 3-cost card that gives you 2 power. Oh, but it also gives 0 VP, so that's weird. I suppose it might be interesting to have it beside the Kicks. I wonder what color it's supposed to be. I guess white. Okay, we'll set that aside. And what do we have? Oh, this is the divider for the multiverse box. My turn is Sinestro. Okay, let's take a look at those actual super cards. Unboxing. I'm supposed to tell an anecdote and play catchy, royalty-free music. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, we got the level 1 Green Lanterns and the level 1 Green Lantern and Sinestro. We got. Oh yeah, this is called Rivals 2. Okay, good. I wonder if they're ever gonna do a Rivals 3, and if so, who would it be? Because like some of the other characters we would have thought for Rivals already got put in confrontations. And I guess we basically just process of elimination, right? All right. Let's see. Okay. Oh, there we go. You know what? I might have been. I wasn't looking at the camera, so I didn't. Yeah, we need to get a real camera. Okay, Green Lantern. Once during each of your turns, if you control a hero and a construct, you may destroy a card in your hand. I like that. It's also kind of similar to Saint Walker in Crisis 2. Okay, Sinestro. Once during each of your turns, if you control a villain and a construct, attack. Each foe discards a card. If one or more foes discard a card with a cost of 0 this way, +1 power. Okay. Need a little forcing of the hand and forcing to choose. Level 2, Sinestro and GL. Oh, I like that. I like that picture. Looks like he's getting up. We got Sinestro over here. It's like, yay, I am the champion. Okay, once during each of your turns, if you control a hero and a construct, draw 2 cards, and then discard a card, and then +1 power for each attack you play. That's totally different. The first time one or more foes fail to avoid an attack, draw a card. Yeah, that's actually pretty similar to how he is in the in Forever Evil. Okay, set them aside. And the final stage of each one, Green Lantern just looking real smugly. He's about to punch you, and Sinestro, like, what? Who is this even for? Am I serious? This is the lamest video ever. Confrontation. Each time you play a hero, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a construct or defense, draw it. Otherwise, you may discard it. And the other one says, and Sinestro is like, confrontation, +1 power for each villain you play. Each time that foe fails to avoid an attack, draw a card. Okay, so he's basically just an upscaled version of how he was a moment ago. Okay. We got a little bit of Black Canary in there as well. And of course, if you beat either of these cards, you win, but they cost 15, and they're going to be really angry. Okey-doke. Of course, he has like the Hector Hammond head going on here. Some of these I don't actually. Okay, so I'm not gonna look at all the cards right now. Okay, I'm gonna leave these to be a surprise, but we are gonna take a peek at the rules. Okay. Ta-da. Oh yeah, they got a new Mogo. Sinestro Core Power Rings. He's like passing them out like bling. Okay, overview. In DC deck building game Rivals Green Lantern vs. Sinestro, trademark, you take in the role of one of the iconic rivals and engage in an epic cosmic showdown. While you begin armed with only the ability to punch your foe, as the game progresses you will add new, more powerful cards to your deck with the goal of defeating your biggest rival. If you knock out your opponent 3 times, you instantly win the game. However, if the main deck runs out, the player who has accumulated the most victory points win the game. Will Green Lantern succumb to the fear brought upon him by Sinestro's onslaught of attacks, or can he use his willpower to construct an impenetrable defense? 98 game cards, 14 punch starter, 6 vulnerability starter, 60 main deck, 8 hard light construct, 10 weakness cards, 6 oversized DC character cards, and 1 rule book. Set up for your first game. Your character and starting deck. One player starts. Okay, well, that's pretty basic. Grab your 3 oversized, place them face up on the stack with the 9 on top, 12 in the middle, and 15 on the bottom. Each player starts with 7 with the symbols matching their character. I mean, I guess don't know if that's really a hard rule, but something. Yeah. Although, I guess in retrospect, it would have been cool to see that for Rivals 1, because again, Batman versus the Joker, because like all the punches and vulnerabilities featured Batman, and so did the kicks. So I think it'd been kind of cool if they mixed it up. Like I actually like manually mixed it up so that I put some of the Forever Evil starters and kicks and weaknesses in that set, basically. Okay, so the different types are starter, villain, location, hero, superpower, and equipment. Weakness and hard light construct. Okay, yeah, the constructs are typeless, right? So even though they cost 3, but that's because they have the secondary effect. Okay, we got each of your oversized character cards has a different special ability and cost. Be sure to read each of your character cards at the start of the game so you can plan your strategy accordingly. Once your 9-cost version defeated, then you will be able to use your 12-cost version, but no longer your 9-cost version. The main deck. Okay, well, we don't need to read that. That's basically the same. None of the following should be in the main deck. Punch, vulnerability, hard light construct, weakness, or the oversized characters. Not that they would fit. Okay, once you're... Yep, okay, the line... Yep. First player. The player who most recently read a comic book gets to go first.
That didn't me.
Yeah, it might have been you. Alternatively, you can determine first player randomly. Okay, that's silly. I love the last one to... Yeah, the person who got this game because they like the theme goes first. Each player begins by shuffling the deck and drawing 5 cards. Players will alternate taking turns. Thank you. Gameplay. Each turn you must first decide if you'll take a normal turn, buy art cards, add to your deck, and confront your opponent, or confront your opponent and try to defeat their current character. At the beginning of the game, you will not have enough power in your deck to confront your opponent, so you should spend your first few turns buying new cards for your deck. If you take a normal turn, you may buy cards from the lineup or hard light construct stack to improve your deck. Cards you buy or gain are immediately placed into your discard pile. I like this shade of green. This makes me feel like I'm reading the Legend of Zelda deck building game, which does not exist. Yeah. Discard piles are always face up. Soon they'll be shuffled into your deck, and then you'll be drawing these newer, more powerful cards into your hand. Most of this is the same as like other rules. You can buy, yeah, with the activity decay. Okay, yeah, vulnerable and weakness provide no power. If you decide to confront your opponent, you will not be able to buy any cards to add to your deck. See the following page for more on confrontations. Sample normal turn sequence. No. Confronting your opponent. At the start of your turn, you may announce a confrontation. I remember this because I do have Rivals 1 and played it, so yeah, we're just doing this for the camera. Only by announcing a confrontation can you attempt to defeat your opponent. If you defeat your opponent 3 times, you instantly win the game. However, your opponent is no easy mark, says you. Each character has 3 versions that are progressively harder to beat. If you generate power equal to or exceeding their cost during confrontation, that version of your opponent's character is removed from their character stack card and placed near your side of the table. Should the game end due to or floor if you're, if you don't have pets. Should the game end due to being unable to refill the lineup, these defeated character cards are worth a lot of victory points, and if you don't live in a damp area. Note that during a confrontation, you can only beat the top card. Even if you have 30 power, you can't defeat more than one of their character cards in the same turn. You cannot buy cards from the lineup even if you choose to confront your opponent. You should only choose to confront your opponent if there's a chance that you can amass enough power to beat your opponent's cost. You may not have all the power you need to defeat your opponent at the very start of the turn. If you need 9 power to defeat your opponent, and you start your turn with 5 and the ability to draw 3 cards, you might be able to get 9 or more power with those extra draws. Several cards you acquire work especially well with the confrontation. These cards have the bold word, confrontation, in their game text. The text after confrontation is only active while you're confronting your opponent. Well, okay, I think that's actually a decent way to put it, right? Because I don't know if you remember in Rivals 1, they just say, during a confrontation, right? Which is which is almost twice as long. Now it's not in bold, right? But I think this does help. You know what? This helps you sort cards that are confrontation exclusive out, and it also right, because like the block cards are bold and they have a colon, right? So it makes sense that because the confrontation is kind of like the attack version is kind of to block what attack is to defense, and those two are bolded. But then the first one, it wasn't like that. Okay, I like that. I think that makes sense. That's different from Rivals 1, right? But if I had to guess, I'd say retroactively, it probably. Anyways, blocks. Block cards contain the bold word "block" followed by a number in parentheses in their game text. Okay, wow, they even simplified that. Might have to see that. Whatever. After a foe confronting you has played all of their cards, right? So you can't keep going. You may discard a number of block cards from your hand to increase your character's cost. The value in the parentheses is how much your character's cost increases by. If the value is X, check the game text on the card to determine what X equals, because X gonna give it to you. I'm sure everyone else has said that if they did an unboxing of this. In order to prevent your foe from defeating your character, you must discard enough block cards to increase your cost to a higher number than your opponent's power total. Raising it to even isn't good enough. The increased cost of your character only lasts until the end of the current turn. Block cards may be played during your turn just like any other card, but the block text is not applicable. Ooh, a bug. Ending your turn. Announce that you're... I'm talking about one of the cards, not actual bug. Announce that you're ending your turn. Your turn is now over. 2. Place any cards remaining in your hand in your discard pile. 3. Resolve any at end of turn effects. 4. Place all cards with the ongoing keyword you played into your discard pile. Oh, sorry, without the ongoing keyword. Any unspent power from cards played during the turn is lost. Draw 5 cards. I like it, they put 5 and 5. 6. If any of the 5 lineup slots are empty, take cards from the top of the main deck and add them to the lineup. Do not replace empty slots as soon as you buy or gain a card from the lineup, unless you're playing a regular game with On Patrol. 7. Now your opponent starts their turn. End of game. The game ends immediately when either of the following 2 conditions are met. You defeat your opponent's last character card. You win instantly, or you are unable to refill all 5 slots of the lineup. If you're unable to refill the lineup, return all locations you have in play, all cards in your hand, and all cards in your discard pile to your deck. Then players total up the victory points on cards in their decks. Weakness cards in your deck at the end of the game will subtract victory points from your total. The opposing character cards you defeat are also worth a lot of points to you. The player with the highest VP total is crowned the winner. In the case of a tie, the player with more opposing character cards is the winner. If there is still a tie, the player with more cards in their deck is the winner. Okay? Additional rules. Order of playing your cards. Yeah, okay, well, that's pretty much the same. Attacks and defenses. Yeah. Is there anything about blocks or not defenses? I guess not. Oh, there's some crazy characters in this. If an attack looks for a particular card or card type and you do not have one in the place where the attack looks, you suffer no effects of the attack, but you may still use a defense against it to gain the defense reward. Even if a foe was unaffected by an attack, they are still considered to have failed to avoid an attack if they do not use a defense card. Okay, so that I think was a good disambiguation. I already knew that, but sometimes that could confuse people. Resolving card abilities. When an effect tells you to draw a card, that card always comes from your own deck. If you cannot fully resolve the text on a card, resolve as much of it as possible. When you see the phrase, that foe, it refers to the foe you chose earlier for an attack card or that you are currently confronting. Some of the cards in this set may affect each opponent. Even though Rivals GL versus S is a 1v1 experience, it can be combined with other sets to play with more players. Construct cards. Okay, so they got the keyword construct above the icon. Construct beasts. I wonder if Constructs of Fear is retroactively a construct. Because that was a superpower in Forever Evil, but of course it was only a superpower. Okay, you'll see some cards that have the tag Construct. This tag has no inherent meaning, but will be referenced by other card effects. Hardlight Construct has no card type, but includes the Construct tag. Other Construct... Okay, that's like... they're adding tags now instead of just types. I like that, though. Supervillain was a... Okay, other Construct cards will have a normal card type, such as Superpower. Weaknesses. Some cards force players to gain a weakness. If this happens, the affected player takes a weakness card from the weakness stack and places it in their discard pile, effectively adding it to their deck. Weaknesses have no ability when drawn during the game and can be played or kept in your hand and placed in your discard pile at the end of your turn. If the game ends due to being unable to refill the lineup, each weakness card you have subtracts 1 victory point from your VP total, so you'll need a plan for destroying them at some point. If the weakness stack runs out, effects that would cause a player to gain a weakness do not do so, but any other effects still resolve as usual. A player may still use defense to avoid an attack, even if there are no weaknesses to be gained. Destroying cards. Some cards have the ability to destroy a card in your hand or discard pile. When you destroy a card, place it into a face-up pile of destroyed cards anywhere. Yeah, it's going to be the lid. The lid. The lid. The lid. If weakness and hard-like construct cards are destroyed, they do not go back to their respective stacks, except in impossible mode where the weaknesses do. It didn't say that, I'm just adding. Shuffling your deck. You don't... Okay, well, we don't need that. Locations. Yeah. Discarding cards. Okay. Gaining cards. Yolanda. Nice. When a card tells me... Yeah. Yeah, so that's... You get it without having to pay. Controlling cards. You control cards that you have played and are in play or that are in front of you on an ongoing basis. You do not control cards in your hand, deck, or discard pile. Yes. Specific card clarification. Okay, we'll keep this on hand because I don't want to spoil anything yet. Combining sets. Okay. This set can be mixed with other Cryptozoic Kerberos Engine deck building games. You are free to mix and match cards from any sets to make your own custom game experience. We recommend that when you swap cards, you exchange them for cards of similar type and cost. Okay, that's a neat little rule of thumb and one, right? Because like when it was only 2 games, DC1 and DC2, it's basically just, put them all together. You play one game with one deck, play them with the next, right? But then now that there are so many of these games out, it is nice that they throw a little line there saying like, here's a hint, if you're gonna combine things, right? Similar type and cost, and it's not just types, right? Also consider attacks and defenses and destroyers too, and maybe draws. Okay, for additional games in the Confrontations line, ability to play with up to 4 players, check out the Confrontations or Batman v Joker. Below are some additional recommendations when combining with those sets. Confrontations. Follow the suggested guidelines outlined in the combining sets section of the Confrontations rulebook. Create both a hard light construct stack and an enhanced strength stack during setup. Okay, so that's going to be their equivalent of game. Okay, Batman v Joker. If you're using it as a 1v1 game, or ooh, that's right, we can do 2v2 now because I have rivals 1. If only I had 2 more opponents. If you're playing this as a 1v1 game, use the hard light construct stack instead of the kit. What? When forming the main deck, only combine cards associated with the characters being played. For example, if you were playing as Batman against Sinestro, the main deck would contain Batman and Sinestro cards. This is a little more difficult because those ones don't have those don't have the icon, but then again, the characters are also pictured, so it's pretty easy to tell which one is Batman and which one is Joker. Green Lantern and Joker cards would not be shuffled into the main deck. Okay, actually, I kind of like this concept, right? And I believe I was watching a review where they actually kind of went over something like this. If you're playing as a 2v2, shuffle both main decks together. Ooh. Create both a hard light construct and kick stack. You will form a team of superheroes and one of supervillains. Have a seat next to your partner. That way you can compare hands and talk secretly about your plans. Okay, that's actually unique. Before, when they do team games, including Crisis, you're not allowed to show each other your cards. I wonder if they just figured out that's pretty futile. Teammates take separate turns, and player order will alternate between them. Or between teams. For example, Batman takes the first turn, Joker would take a second turn, Green Lantern the third, Sinestro the fourth. The turn order remains the same for the entire game. Teammates may not buy cards for each other. Right, in this case. Block cards can be used to increase the cost of your character or your teammate's character. If both of your foes are at the same level, you can choose to confront either of them. If they are not, you must confront the foe at the lower level. Okay, that makes sense, right? You don't want to like knock one guy out and then it's like 1v2. A team instantly wins if they defeat the level 3 character of either foe. Oh, that's actually pretty mean. I guess that makes sense, though, because if one guy's down to 3, then you have to take the other guy down to 3 as well. Oh, okay, credits, game design, Nathaniel Yamaguchi. Okay, yeah, so Matt Hara's kind of off the team at this point, I guess. I mean, yeah, he works with another company, right? Yeah, so I guess he kind of passed it off. I wonder if he'll respond to me in the forums. Okay, well, here's a bunch of names. Scott Gaeta, Matt Hira, Adam Splendorio. Okay, and here's the reminder for turn sequence, but I'm gonna take put a bookmark or something. Oh yeah, hey look, a bookmark. Oh yeah, that is kind of what these things basically are for me. Bookmarks. Okay, yeah, we'll put a bookmark quite literally. Yeah. We're gonna shuffle up. Ugh, damn it. So much trash. I don't like these. I guess I gotta do that to make sure moisture can't get on, but like, yeah. It keeps fragmenting. This plastic. No! Damn it! Ugh. Reaction video. Yeah. Look at those colors. Well, on the bright side, at least they put the stack cards in starters in a separate one. Unlike like some of the like the first few like main sets that I got where they would like kind of throw it all together, or they kind of throw it haphazardly. Like you got to like first the superpowers or the kicks and whatnot. I'm gonna give it a star shuffle because. Okay, give the old star shuffle, give it the pull apart. Give it a casino shuffle. Ah. Yeah, well, I got most of it. Yeah, I guess we'll just do more pull aparts. Are you almost ready to play? Yes, you. Oh, I asked, are you almost ready to play?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to pause, get up, and then we will get a going. So yeah, this is going to be the unboxing / first match. I'm trying to get it in one take so I don't have to... Oh, wait, no, I forgot because it splits it up into... Every time it hits 4 gigabytes. Okay, whatever. We'll go ahead and... We'll make it multiple shots. Okay, well, let me... Well, actually, let me... While I wait, let's go ahead and arrange the game. So yeah, the card I compared to a moment ago, or earlier, the Green Lantern ring. So like, the right, because DC2 Heroes Unite had a lot of the Lantern stuff. Okay, so we have weaknesses and hard light constructs, and there's no stack where each other stacks. Okay, we're gonna be random. We don't know who's gonna be who. Okay, I got Green Lantern. Your power is not called July.
Gelato. The color is gelato.
Okay, so careful. The cards are not in sleeves, so don't push them together. And also, they might be a little slippery because like a little dusty kind of. Yes, only do pull apart. But when your deck gets big enough, you can do like a casino style shuffle. That's cool. Oh, by the way, I did figure out a brand of oversized card sleeves. Unfortunately, they only come in clear, right? I was hoping they'd have a hard card back, but we could probably figure out something to do after that. Oops. And here's the destroyed pile. It is just a box. Let me throw away some plastic. I guess let's go ahead and get the first lineup going. For spacing purposes. Okay, we got this guy. This thing. Oh dear. This thing. I'm gonna, this is the first time I've seen all these cards, so I'm actually gonna have to stop and read them when I start playing.